So it is Friday, it's the 17th of July. I'm about to start puzzle number 16. I've got 2 rows in which I need 1 square each to complete the row. So the one I am going for today is the random cut square. And for me, random cut, if I think random cut, I think cobble hill. So that's the one I will be doing today. So for this square, I could have done the springbok I've got in my collection. I've got 2 white mountains that could have worked. And then, of course, the most famous random cut puzzle is then the Cobble Hill puzzles. For Cobble Hill, I've got a huge selection of puzzles to choose from. The only reason I chose this one is because I am looking forward to assemble this puzzle. And now I've got a very good reason to do so. So Cobble Hill was my first choice. Maybe next year I will switch it up with the Springbok or a White Mountain. But for now, I'm very happy with my choice. This is another one of those puzzles that went pretty fast. I was hoping for a fast puzzle, but I kind of expected it to take a bit longer. So I'm very happy with the time I spent on it. Then for my teammates, unfortunately, they had to choose from a selection of Cobble Hill puzzles, 1,000 pieces. That's one of the very few puzzles I don't have in a 500 piece for them. So this far, none of them got as far as to assemble this 1,000 piece puzzles yet. But sometime in the future, I think I will invest in a 500 piece Cobble Hill just for the occasion where there is a square in a 500 piece round where we need to do a random cut puzzle. So, like I said, any one of the Cobble Hills could have worked. This is a beautiful puzzle. I'm very happy for the opportunity to assemble it. So today is Saturday, it's the 18th of July. Again, I've got a late start, but it's early enough, I think, for a puzzle. And the one I am going to do today is this RGS, and this one is for the famous square. And if I don't finish it today and I only finish it up tomorrow, that's perfectly fine. I think this is going to be a tricky puzzle. So the famous person square is one I had a little bit more of a problem to choose a puzzle for. I don't have many puzzles in my collection with actual famous people on them. So I could have done one of the fine art puzzles with work from or work recognizable from a famous artist. But when I saw the square on the bingo card, my first thought was this puzzle, which obviously showcases Albert Einstein, which is a very recognizable famous person. So that was my first instinct to do this puzzle, and there wasn't another one that I considered to replace this one. So I stick with that choice throughout, and I'm very happy that I did. It was a tricky puzzle. Yes, it is as tricky as it looks, that I won't lie about. So that's the reason I didn't want my team members to also assemble that, or this one. So that's why I gave them the Klimt puzzle, which is a 500 piece for this square. All in all, as tricky as it was, I really, really enjoyed this puzzle. It is beautiful once done. I absolutely love the artwork on it, and I had fun with it. Definitely not frustrating at any point. And yeah, I'm very happy for the opportunity to do this one. And I will be on the lookout for more puzzles with famous people on them for future squares similar to this one, or famous people squares for future bingo cards. But in the end, I'm just happy that I had this one and I had the opportunity to assemble it. So it is Monday, it's the 20th of July. Yesterday just got ahead of me and I did not get to puzzle at all, but I will try to catch up this evening. So the puzzle I am going to do next is this Baby La puzzle, and this one is for the ribbon cut square. So for the ribbon cut square, the idea was to do something that's not random cut. For me, there's a clear difference between a ribbon cut and a grid cut. And I think I will one day do a video on that because according to the administration of the Puzzle Olympics, there is a lot of controversy about the difference. And because there isn't a clear line between the difference between ribbon cut and grid cut, they allowed a grid cut puzzle as well for this square. So for that reason, I could have done any of the puzzles in my collection. There's like 300 to choose from. But being the person I am, I wanted it to be a true ribbon cut as I know it. So I knew that the ribbon cuts are usually the ones with the rounded corners. I don't know if you will know what I'm talking about. Maybe I will insert photos to show the difference. And I knew I had in my collection, but I couldn't remember exactly which ones. One of the ones that I did remember was this baby last, so I went with this one. I assembled this puzzle before, loved it, and I was happy for the opportunity to reassemble it. So it is Tuesday, the 21st of July. Last night I only got halfway with this puzzle, and my mission for tonight is just to finish it up. This one, of course, for the ribbon cut square. So let's see how far I get. So if you wonder why I chose this puzzle specifically and not, for instance, the coffee puzzle, which is a 550-piece puzzle, which would have went faster than this one, I will share something personal with you. And I don't know how many of you know this of me, but I am a legal secretary. That's my day job, and I work for a law firm. So this puzzle is very special to my heart because it basically represents my profession. Not exactly my job. I'm not the person that stands up in court and argue people's cases, but I do the work in the background in order for my people to be able to stand in that courtroom and represent their clients' cases. So I just love this puzzle, and for that reason, it will forever and ever stay in my collection. Just because it's the only puzzle in my collection that actually represents my job. It's Wednesday, 22nd of July. I'm about to start puzzle number 19 for the bingo card. And the one I am going to start tonight is this Gallison 1000 pieces. And the square this one is intended for is for the geometric square. So when I saw this geometric square on the bingo card, I kind of hit panic mode because my first instinct was that I've got nothing with shapes that I can use for this puzzle or for this square. And then I remembered, okay, but round puzzles are actually in itself is a shape, so that should technically work. And when I start browsing through the puzzles, my eye fell on this one, and the images on this is of quilts, absolutely beautiful, but they are of such a nature that they do fit the geometric definition. So I went with this one, and I'm very happy with my choice. I could have done the one that I set aside for my team members, which is the round Ravensburger one with the map of the world, which is also a mandala. And according to Google, that one fits the bill perfectly, not just because it is a round puzzle, but also because of the design in the background. So either could have worked, but I'm happy I went with this one. It's an absolutely gorgeous puzzle. And as with the Cobble Hill Quilts puzzle, this one went faster than I expected. It was a pure joy puzzle and very, very beginner friendly. So if you are a beginner and are looking for an easy puzzle, this is definitely one I would recommend. Lovely, lovely puzzle. Very happy with my choice. So we made it till Thursday, the 23rd of July. I'm about to start puzzle number 20. And the one I chose for today is this Cobble Hill 1000 pieces. And this one is for the Hobbies square. So the Hobby square is another very nice square to pick a puzzle for because I had options for this square. Some of the puzzles that made the short list, which I considered, was there was a cobble hill with the cats in the baskets with all the wool or yarn, and that one was on the short list. because it represents for me knitting or crocheting. And the other one that I seriously considered was the origami one by Amy Stewart, which I did a couple of months ago. So that is also a perfect example of a hobby. And I went with the bookshelf one with the books for reading just because I haven't assembled this one before, and also because it's a little bit easier, or it looked a bit easier than the one with the cats and the yarn. I think that puzzle will be a little bit more tricky, and I am kind of slightly pressed for time, so I went with the easier option of those two just because I haven't assembled them before. For my team members, they did the toy shop puzzle for the Hobbies Square just because there is so many toys on there, which in itself can be a hobby if you collect them. But more specifically for the puzzles on there, there's a whole shelf with puzzles on that image, and that represents our hobby perfectly. So they just love that puzzle, and I'm very happy with my choice. So with puzzle number 20 done, I've got 4 puzzles left, three of which is 1,000 piece puzzles, and the last one is a 2,000 piece puzzle. I've got a week left, so I am a little bit concerned about the 2,000 piece because I know I won't be able to do it in a day or two. But I am going to give it my all to complete the bingo card with that 2,000 piece puzzle. If not, I've got a 500 piece as a backup. So let's see. But for now, I think I'll cut the video here. So you will see only next week if I did manage to complete the bingo card with or without the 2,000 piece. Once again, I would just like to say thank you so much for everyone that's watching. I appreciate your time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.